Are we live? Are we live? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, folks. Let me know if you can hear me, folks. I'll just go on my phone in case I'm not getting comments up on the Facebook thingamajigamy. Just let me know if you can hear me, folks. That will be cool. Let's see. Let me know. Are we live? Yes, we are live, and somebody can see. Hey, there we go. Apologies, my phone has comments, and now the rest of my computer has comments as well. Excellent stuff, folks. Excellent stuff. Good. Hopefully we're all well, and you can all hear me okay, which is brilliant. And yeah, just thought I'd pop in and say hello, really, and see how everything's going with everyone. So, yeah, I can almost I can hear myself as well. Cool. So, yeah, hopefully you've all enjoying our session for phase 2 of You Will Be Found. All really positive. Thank you for those of you who tuned into the One Voice video. Obviously, the link is still up at the top of the Facebook members page, which is cool. Lots of people have watched that. I wonder how many it is actually. Not sure how many it is, but it's a lot of people have watched that, which is brilliant. Obviously, we are doing video session for that relatively soon. I'm going to try and get that possibly in between phase 2 and phase 3. So I'm just going to my YouTube videos and have a look at how many views we got. And then I'll go through another couple of bits and bobs with you all. Here we go. What did we get on views? 1,700. So 1,700 views, which is brilliant. So 1,700 views on One Voice, and that's just for the ones that's going out to you. That's probably a few people have maybe shared that, but just try to minimize the amount of sharing you're doing with that. I know you're very kind of happy with how it sounds, and that's brill. Obviously, we want the main thrust of views to be when we've done the video that will feature all of you. We're going to be getting together on Zoom within the next few days. I would say between phase 2 and phase 3 makes sense to have some little get-togethers and start doing some Zoom recordings. That's when you'll just lip sync, basically. You'll do a bit of lip syncing to the recorded track. And we'll work out the best way of doing that, and we'll let you know. And we're going to be... Oh, sorry. Oh, wakey, Simon. We will be letting you know on that. I have a chat with the music team, seeing the best way to do this, and we will let you know on what we're doing the video sessions for One Voice, which is cool. Looking forward to that. Obviously, if you were one of the soloists, all the soloists that we initially mentioned are all on the track. They're all there. So we want to get them involved in doing specific videos with the soloists. So we'll be in contact with them, which is cool. Yeah, so that's cool. So there'll be more stuff with One Voice coming pretty soon. Glad you like the recording. Again, massive shout out to Andrew, to Tamara, and the tech team for all the hard work they did on One Voice. They are currently all working very hard on You've Got a Friend in Me, recordings of that. They're all trimmed, and we've got a fair few. In fact, let me just give you a live update on that. 1 second. Okie dokie. Currently, just letting you know, we had just under, I think we had about 573. We had 573, I think it's that number, recordings for You've Got a Friend in Me. And already, all of them have been trimmed, so synchronized, like slightly like trimmed beginnings and end have all been trimmed. 105, it looks like, have already been gone through the editing team, the pitch and syncing team. So they're doing amazing work, absolutely amazing work there. So I'm just looking at the little spreadsheet there. So yeah, they're doing great stuff. So again, we're hopeful for, and obviously all the videos for you, You've Got a Friend in Me were done during the process. So the actual video on that should be not too far away, all being well. So we shouldn't be too far away. So What else I was going to say? Yeah, so One Voice, cool, awesome, more information coming. You will be found. Obviously, the team are looking relatively soon on phase 3 information, phase 3 rehearsals and timings. In the app, the collective app at the moment, none of the phase 3 timings, because they've not been set yet, none of them are showing up. So don't worry if you go into the app and it looks like there are no more rehearsals on You Will Be Found. There is a full lot of rehearsals. I think phase 3 lasts for 9 days. There probably will be a similar amount of sessions overall that there's been in this last 7-day phase, but spread over 9 days. So there should be, again, there'll be a full 9-day period. Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, Sunday. Sunday, we will be putting a link up, and Rita will be sending an email out to those people who are not on Facebook with the upload link, the Google Forms upload link. Oh, sorry. Sending a link out to the Google Form upload link for your uploading your recordings for feedback. We're almost at the feedback stage. Feedback opens on Sunday morning, the 19th of July, and it closes, I think, 11 p.m. on Wednesday, the 22nd of July, but it closes on the 22nd of July. So you've got that 4-day period to get your recordings in, so we can give them feedback. The sooner you do that, the sooner our team can get that feedback to you. Again, those of you You Got a Friend in Me will be using exactly the same system, which worked really well last time. We managed to get, there was very few issues with getting feedback to people, considering we had 440 different lots of feedback forms. They all got turned around in a really quick period, and it was a lot more efficient than the previous way we'd done things. So we are liking our Google Forms for our audio feedback, and again, that starts on Sunday morning, and then you need to get them in by 22nd of July by 11 o'clock at night. We will, in that intervening time, be having One Voice videos. We're looking at the moment at having some social videos, so some social get-togethers in that intervening week. After tomorrow's sessions, we then phase 3 doesn't start until next Saturday. So you've got a week. You've got actually a week where we don't have any specific rehearsal sessions that are planned. There may be some Zoom sessions happening, some social sessions, some there might even be some kind of tight kind of musical sessions. There'll probably be some education sessions, which we'll come on to in a moment. So there will be stuff going on, but it won't be like the phase 3 of the rehearsals. It'll be time for you to learn, time for you to maybe do some social stuff, time for you to maybe do some education sessions, and there will be stuff going on, but it won't be, phase 3 doesn't start until next Saturday. We've obviously got tomorrow's rehearsals, which ends off phase 2 of You Will Be Found. Phase 3 starts next Saturday. Part of the reason for that week is to give our music team time to do all the feedback that they need to do for your recordings. Also to give them a little bit of not quite a break, but a break from Zoom rehearsals. But also to kind of, so we can plan phase 3. We can have a decent team meeting and we can really work out what it is we need to do in phase 3. We always try and be kind of both reactive and proactive in what we're doing, to make sure that we're giving you the best experience and kind of highlighting some areas that we think we could develop as different singers have different needs. So yeah, that's all good. Now I'm just, if you look on my on the information here, and I'm just going to quickly on this display thing show my cursor. So yes, you can see it now. Now in here, and it's a little bit small, so you won't be able to see it well. So apologies for that. In fact, I might be able to slightly zoom it in. That's mildly better. So I'll do it like that, and hopefully you can see it a little bit better. Now on here is basically the You Will Be Found folder. I just want to take you through. Over the next couple of days, the Conductor Tracks folder will be populated with videos. They'll go up on the YouTube account as well, but they will be populated with the Conductor videos where I will do my waving of hands, etc., etc. Also, there's lots of other stuffs in here. Audio tracks. In the updated tracks, there continues to be more tracks. Some of the slower tracks, there's a tenor right, bass left, 50% slower. There's an Alto 2, 90% speed. These are being made by various singers, members of the music team, and members of the collective. And again, as we see they're useful, we're adding those in to OneDrive so other people can access them. That's basically some slowed down tracks to kind of help with your learning. There's quite a lot of stuff there. There is also now an instrumental track, which is just the instrumental for you will be found. If you want to be running through without anything else in the background, then you now can do that to the instrumental track. Be mindful that the instrumental track is quite tricky at the beginning with the instrumental track to work out your timing of when to put in the melody. It's quite tricky. That's why the conductor tracks will be so useful to a lot of you, and they're the ones that we want you to kind of use for the final version. We're going to kind of let you go with the audio tracks for your feedback, but there will be those conductor tracks coming within the next few days. In score, we are also got some marked up scores. For example, soprano 2 and tenor bass have got annotated scores which are been made by members of the music team, again, which have additional information for you. Again, these are not things that I've made, it's stuff that music team have made, those section leaders have made, and as they've requested me to put things in there for you, I obviously then put those things in there. They're only for tenor, bass, and soprano at the moment, but there may well be ones for altos and soprano 1. So, and the last thing is information and tutorial videos. A lot of this is up on YouTube, in that all of it should be up on YouTube. Some of the stuff on YouTube you can't view properly because of copyright restrictions on some of the video examples. In one of my education sessions, it blocked a couple of those videos. All the stuff is available, however, in these folders. There is initially the phase 2 launch. When I do a proper phase 3 launch, there will be the video of the phase 3 launch will be in there. This video I'm doing at the moment will be in probably voice chart part tutorial videos. It'll probably be in there. It'll also be on YouTube after it's been on Facebook. The voice part tutorial videos, if you just click on there, you will notice that as I receive things from section leaders, I am putting them in here. It sometimes takes a while to download because some of them are relatively large files, but you will notice that so, for example, there was a soprano 1 performance session, 16th of July there, which was put in there. There's some other stuff as well that I need to put in. There's a couple of bits that I haven't put in that are on YouTube, but I need to put into this folder. And I keep on basically populating it with rehearsal videos. Some of these are from rehearsals. Some of them are score walkthrough. So a soprano 2 score walkthrough, taking you through the whole song. So again, that information is there for you if you want to spend a bit additional time going through the information. Do feel free to check out those videos and see what there is there. Again, the vast majority of that is from different section leaders. And again, as you know, all the different section leaders all give you a little bit of a different flavor to what's going on. So yeah, which is all positive. If I go backwards again, education sessions. The education sessions, we obviously had using guide tracks to learn a song. That was a session I did. The video from that is there. And again, you can watch that session back. It's on YouTube, but it's here as well. Obviously, we had some of our music team did a really awesome use of the SOVT, that's semi-occluded vocal tract exercises with a straw. And then there's the education session and then a Q&A session that we did afterwards with the music team. That is there for you to access as well. And then we had arranging with your inner voice, which is a session I did. Again, and you'll notice that you get the videos from that. I actually ended up doing it in kind of a few different sessions. Some of those are quite long. I think the whole kind of process is about 4 hours, but that just takes you through me arranging a song from the beginning to the very end, something that I don't decide on that day. If you're kind of interested in that thing and you've kind of got an idea that you might like to do some arranging of your own, and you don't necessarily want to write it by a score, or you kind of hear melodies in your head like I sometimes do, and you want to see what happens if you try and arrange them and maybe ways that you want to do that, just takes you through that. The session 4 result is basically the song. The song Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic by The Police, which is the one I ended up arranging in that education session. We also had a couple of performance ones. Initially was one with me, which was a performance one on creativity, context, and communication. The PowerPoint presentation, the video examples that I used in there are all there as separate videos for you to look at, and the actual session itself is recorded in case you want to watch through that. There was another performance one that I did the other day with Debbie, Mike, Donna, and Laura, Putting Your Toes Over the Cliff, which was a really amazing session, and people got a lot from it. Again, the PowerPoint presentation is there, as is the video recording. The video recording of those are on the internet, but again, the PowerPoint's there with all the kind of information there, so you may well want to access it through this folder system, and you get the full quality. Nothing's compressed, and you've got all that kind of those learning materials to go through at your leisure. Last couple of days, I've been doing music theory. If you are a non-music reader, or you just want to kind of dust off the cobwebs slightly on your music reading, then there is some theory sessions. There's some theory booklets, which is where the information I'm going through is based upon, and that takes you through those things. If you're the kind of, if you like to kind of go through things in like a booklet style, they're all PDFs that are available for you to then use and print out. You also have there some examples of music from session 2, which was time signature examples of music. We have the PowerPoint presentations from yesterday, which was notation. So it was treble and bass clef notation. We touched on what alto clef was. We also then touched on note duration, historical context, and all that kind of stuff. That was a 2-hour session. And there's a PowerPoint and the video recording. Today, we went through all things time signature related, did some listening examples and working out time signatures. The PowerPoint presentation with there. The time signature examples with the correct time signature for all those pieces of music is in there for you, as is the video. There's another one of those education sessions on music theory tomorrow at 5 p.m. UK time. So that is going to continue to be updated with education sessions for you. Which is hopefully you're finding useful. This is all stuff that you can refer to. You can use it. You can download it. We're as I've mentioned before, everything with Collective, there's no money involved. So this stuff is there to help you. That's what we're here for. So there's no money involved, and we're doing things for the love of it. And if you can get something from those education sessions, brilliant. Sometimes they're linked to obviously the song that we're working on. Sometimes they're just linked to things in general to do with music that we think you might be interested in. We're obviously at the moment doing youth sessions. We've got a youth stream at the moment. All Learning You Will Be Found, and that's going really, really well. We've got some amazing young people from various different countries all coming together. Learning You Will Be Found, which is awesome, and they're a great bunch. The youth team are doing really great guns as well. So myself, Tanya, Laura, Julia, and Nikki Atkins. So again, that's really good fun getting a youth stream up and running, which we wanted to do for a while. So that's all the stuff in the folder. Just a quick plug for the Collective app. Now, it's something that some of you are using an awful lot. I know when I chat to Ian, who devised the Collective app, again, for free, which was rather awesome of him. You basically need to put in your email address and all this kind of stuff, and I'll just put mine in there. Not that some people haven't seen the email address I used to log into this, but when you've logged into it, you have all these little different buttons. That's a way you can access all the information I just went through. So the score, the information rehearsal videos and the education sessions, the video tracks, the audio tracks. Once I've done the conductor videos, Ian will be making a button there which says about access the conductor videos. So everything you can get through this, if you're not sure on the OneDrive link and all that kind of stuff. Get My Rehearsals is what I just want to remind you about. Get My Rehearsals solves all your timing issues, okay? All your timing issues are solved by this. It's got, I think at the moment, like a more than 90% upload time, as in it's working. I think Ian said maybe 95% of the time it's working. So if there is ever an issue, Ian is working on it, and do please keep on trying to use the Collective app. It's the easiest way to get your information. So if you are in, for example, I had some youth earlier on who were in Eastern Standard Time, and again, they were in daylight savings. They like the time in date, month, year. Month, date, year. And that's what they like. So we'll do 12-hour clock, and they were youth. So if I click on here, there's obviously, you'll only get at the moment up until tomorrow. So at the moment, there's not huge amounts in there. But if I click get my rehearsals, and I just quickly resize my screen. Sorry, 1 second. Just resize my screen so you can see it all a little bit. So in there, you might not see the quality here, but again, there's sessions. I can see technical support sessions in your time for Eastern Standard Time. So there's one at 7 a.m., a technical support session with Ian. The Zoom information comes up 2 hours beforehand. There's an education session with me tomorrow on music theory, where we're going through key signatures and all that kind of stuff. That will all be, that's 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a youth session tomorrow at 3 p.m. Again, so all the stuff, you'll notice that there, the start of uploads for feedback and the deadline for recordings, feedback for recordings is all up there. And when we get to phase 3, all those phase 3 ones will be there. And you can therefore search again. You can choose any of your voice parts that you want. All that information is there for you. So that's there. Now, the form is not completed yet for feedback. But just to let you know, I know that I've slightly lost my frame rate. So if you can't see me quite as well just then, my frame rate went down for a second, but it does look like I am still online. So I will continue, even though the frame rate's a little bit down at times. Just go with it, and hopefully you can still see me and hear me okay. So if I just quickly go into our feedback. Yeah. Now, oh, whoops-a-daisy, wrong one. Can't type today either. Okay, now this is the one from You've Got a Friend in Me, but it will look very similar. Okay, so it'll look very similar. It'll be basically exactly the same to fill in. Apologies, my internet's being a bit funny. In case you can't see or hear me, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. But don't worry, I think you can still hear me. So if I go into and preview this, it will have a different picture on the top. It might be a different color, but the actual boxes that you got to fill in will be the same. And I'll go through this in another video, but just quickly to go through and let you know, you put your email address in, make sure it's correct. You'll put your first name and your surname. Again, make sure you know your own name and you put that in correctly. You'll be saying, and again, this one is for You've Got a Friend in Me, so it was only soprano, alto, tenor, bass. There'll be a soprano 1, soprano 2, alto 1, alto 2, tenor, and bass. And you'll basically say, yes, you're uploading a file for that voice part. And then there is a box for you to add that voice file. Okay, now if you have any issues with the technical side, obviously Ian is doing technical support sessions. There are some tutorials that are already in existence, which we will reshare, of how to upload recordings to this form. Again, those people who have done it, it is not too difficult. It is nice and easy. We designed it to be as simple as possible. So you can therefore go in and add a file. So if you wanted to add a soprano file, you'd press add file. If I'm on a computer, so I then select a file from my device, I would then upload said file, whatever it might be. I could do that soprano file there. I press upload. It uploads that file. Sometimes it takes a little while, depending on the size of the file. Then you can see that it's there, soprano, OML. I would then press submit. Okay. When you press submit, it therefore says, thanks for your submission. We then have your recording. We will be able to send your feedback to the email address that you've put in there. Nice and simple. Those of you who've done it before, it's a really simple system that worked really, really well for us. And we will continue to use that system, but there'll be a you will be found version of that, but it'll be exactly the same as You've Got a Friend in Me, apart from the picture will be different, and obviously the voice parts will be correct to the song You Will Be Found. I think I'm pretty much there at the moment on all that kind of stuff. Feedback from the music team continues to be amazing. What you're bringing to these rehearsals is just absolutely stunning. The kind of commitment, the dedication, the performance, the kind of emotion, the kind of what you're getting, the sense of community in those rehearsals at the moment is absolutely amazing. So we can only say thank you for continuing to kind of give of yourselves, to be allowing yourself to kind of be vulnerable in those kind of performance sessions where you're kind of expressing your kind of emotions and how you're feeling about things. Please never feel pressured. Please never feel pressured to sharing more than you're comfortable with sharing. Please never feel pressured to some of the performance sessions, some of our session leaders are asking people if they want to sing unmuted. Please never feel pressured to do anything that you're not comfortable with. Our session leaders know, and they will be perfectly fine if you either want to do something or you don't want to do something. Absolutely fine. You don't have to feel that you have to emotionally share things if you're not comfortable with that. But if you want to emotionally share something and you're comfortable with that, then that's absolutely fine. We want all of you to get to take and give what you can to the project, and we never want you to do more than you feel comfortable with. When we're talking about a song like You Will Be Found, where a lot of people have got really quite big kind of emotional kind of feelings about various parts of that song, the song to them, when they hear the lyrics and they hear that, they're feeling that again, and they're really, really feeling that. And the education sessions on performance that we're doing is not just about you embracing the emotion, it's about you being able to, whilst embrace the emotion, but not let it take control of you, not let it take you down, not let it throw you off the cliff, and really make sure that you can get the best out of the song. Because in the end of the day, whilst it is cathartic to break down, to cry, to kind of be a puddle on the floor, that isn't healthy if we're doing it over and over and over and over again, session after session after session. What we want you to do is be aware of those emotions. Again, aren't we aware of those emotions at the moment? Our emotions are heightened at the moment with lockdown and isolation and all those things. What we want you to do is be able to understand and use those emotions, to kind of embrace them, but to not let them control you. We really want you to be able to control them, to give a really heartfelt performance, as you've seen in a lot of the sessions where there's been examples of this shown by amazing performers and amazing performances by groups and individuals. They are sometimes the ones that we want you to aspire to do are where they're in control of those emotions. When I don't say control as in they don't let them show, but they're in control of that emotion, allowing other people to feel something. And the emotion doesn't control them. As soon as that emotion gets on top of you, it affects your vocal performance, it affects your visual performance, and it can affect you through the day. It can affect you if you're not used to having those feelings and connecting with music in that kind of way. We don't want you having a point where it's giving you issues and problems. So we love the fact that you're giving of yourselves emotionally, but just always be kind to yourself, always take care of yourself. And if you're ever not comfortable with anything in a session, feel free, turn your camera off, leave a session if you need to, sit quietly and just politely decline to do something. None of our session leaders will put pressure on you. And again, if there is ever any feedback you want to give, please let me know if there's any feedback on any of that stuff. Again, we cannot say that we get everything right all the time. We are human beings and we have our own flaws and foibles and things, but please give us some feedback if there's anything going on in sessions that you're not sure about, or if you're put in any circumstance where you're not feeling comfortable. We'd like to know that so we can make sure that we're being we're giving you the support that you need, which is, again, because we don't know the situation that all of you are in, and we don't want to put you in a position where suddenly that session finishes and then you have to potentially cope with those emotions, those feelings, possibly on your own in lockdown, in an isolation situation, where you're not, particularly when you haven't got those people to support you once that Zoom session finishes. And I know for some of you, once that Zoom session finishes, there is a sense of the fact that the house might have no one in it, and we don't want you to feel that way. We don't want to leave you those emotions and then leave you without any way of kind of any kind of support. So please do let us know. Do take care of yourselves in that, and do let us know if you need anything. So yeah, it's all going so well, folks. We're humbled by how you find the sessions, and again, it's quite inspiring to kind of hear and see these different posts and the different comments people are making on how much this whole process means to you. People are still talking about what kind of about the White Cliffs of Dover and that kind of project, and obviously One Voice. People are still talking about You've Got a Friend in Me. People are finding that You Will Be Found's giving a different kind of feel, and as each song goes and each process goes on, people are finding kind of solace, they're finding friendship, they're finding, again, they're refinding, some of them, a love of music and singing. It's keeping maybe people kind of going while they're waiting for their choruses and quartets and their choirs to get going again. And we don't know when in certain parts of the world and the country when that's going to happen. And again, it's really amazing that people are thinking of the collective as somewhere that is, a bit of a musical home away from home, and again, we are very honoured that people feel so comfortable with us, and they're getting so much from it. Just a little bit of a mention for one of our music leaders, James, one of our bass section leader, who hasn't been well recently, but again, he is, just give him all our best wishes. And if you can all be thinking of James, he's not been very well recently, but we're wishing him a speedy recovery. He's having a little bit of a rest. He's had the bass team has had to step in and run a couple of sessions over the last couple of days, but hopefully he's doing well, and we really look forward to seeing him soon. So if you can all have some positive wishes to James Boyle, our bass, one of our bass team, that would be much appreciated. And yeah, hopefully you're all doing well. I'm going to sign off now and get myself some sleep. There's loads of stuff to look forward to, folks. We've got a fair old while. After this, You Will Be Found, we've got our next song, It's Not the End. We've got some surprises coming your way, with various things going on. And again, it continues to be really, really rewarding for us as a music team. You really don't understand how much you give us, how much kind of emotional energy you give us in just how much you bring and how much you give of yourself to all these sessions in this project. So we are very, very grateful for all of you. And again, we're getting at least as much, if not more, from this process that keeps us going as you are. So thank you so much, folks. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a wonderful evening. And we'll look forward to seeing you soon. All our love. Thinking of you all, and hopefully you're good. And we'll look forward to seeing you soon. So thank you very much and take care.